When people talk about Vietnam's rocket artillery, most immediately think of the Soviet-era BM-21 Grad, known locally as Hoa Than. It is powerful, iconic, and deeply familiar. But what many did not expect was that at Vietnam Defense Expo 2024, a completely new system quietly appeared. One that was not imported, not licensed, and not advertised loudly. It was designed, integrated, armored, and operated entirely by Vietnam. A system so compact it could be mounted on a light vehicle, yet capable of unleashing a dense storm of rockets in seconds. And that is precisely why it caught the attention of military observers. Because the moment you see it, the question naturally arises: is Vietnam testing a new generation of mobile rocket artillery? At Vietnam Defense Expo 2024, among rows of familiar platforms, visitors suddenly noticed a small-caliber multiple rocket launcher mounted on what looked like a civilian pickup truck. 40 launch tubes arranged like a compact honeycomb. No dramatic introduction. No flashy branding. No foreign manufacturer logos. Just a simple label: 70mm rocket launcher. That was enough to spark serious discussion. Was this the first step toward a domestically developed, highly mobile MLRS program? If so, it would be a very Vietnamese approach to warfare, not about overpowering an adversary but about making them hesitate, calculate, and think twice before acting. According to information from the General Department of Defense Industries exhibition area, this system was presented as a technology demonstrator. Its purpose was to validate Vietnam's ability to integrate rocket weapons onto light vehicle platforms. The launcher fires 70mm rockets, a caliber traditionally developed for aircraft and attack helicopters, but redesigned for ground launch, following a path already explored by countries like Turkey and Indonesia. Structurally, the system features a modular launcher with 20 to 40 tubes, detachable and capable of manual or semi-automatic elevation and traverse via a domestically developed control unit. Estimated range is between 6 and 8 kilometers, potentially more with extended range rockets. While no official specifications were released, visual inspection at the expo revealed gyroscopic stabilization, optical laser sighting, and a compact electronic fire control panel, all designed and produced in Vietnam. What matters most is this: the entire platform, the mount, stabilization system, and control architecture, is domestically manufactured with no reliance on imported subsystems. It can be mounted on a 4x4 military vehicle or even a civilian pickup truck. From arrival to firing, the crew needs less than 5 minutes to deliver a full salvo and relocate, perfectly aligned with modern shoot-and-scoot doctrine. Technically, this represents Vietnam's clearest move toward domestic multiple rocket artillery, but in a lighter, more flexible direction, rather than replicating the heavy BM-21 model. Before dismissing it as a second-rate system, pause for a moment, because its real value lies in what the BM-21 cannot do. Let's break it down, technically, tactically, and strategically. First, the technical layer, small but robust. These are not high-end guided missiles, but they are far from obsolete. A standard 70mm rocket measures roughly 950 to 975mm in length, weighs about 10 kilograms, and carries a warhead of approximately 4 to 4.5 kilograms. Effective range for the displayed configuration is estimated at 5 to 7 kilometers, ideal for close fire support or area suppression. Notably, the full 40-tube launcher weighs under 600 kilograms. That means it can be mounted on civilian-grade pickup trucks instead of heavy 6x6 military carriers. In practical terms, an ordinary vehicle can become a mobile launch platform within minutes. Purely on performance metrics, it does not replace guided munitions, but it dominates in weight, deployment speed, and volume of fire. 40 rockets can be fired in under 20 seconds. By the time you finish processing that sentence, the launcher could already be empty and relocating. This makes it an exceptionally effective area saturation weapon. Second, the tactical dimension. Flexibility beats mass. Vietnam's terrain, islands, reefs, forests, narrow coastal roads, is not friendly to heavy artillery. Where large trucks struggle to maneuver, light vehicles thrive. You do not need pinpoint accuracy against a single radar. You need to blanket docking areas, beaches, troop concentrations, and logistics zones, exactly what unguided 70mm rockets do best. The modular design and rapid deployment further reduce exposure to enemy reconnaissance. Reloading can reportedly be completed in under 5 minutes. Fire, relocate, disappear. That cycle dramatically increases survivability, especially in island defense or hit-and-run scenarios. Most importantly, when you deploy dozens of small launch points instead of a few large MLRS units, you force the adversary to spread surveillance and strike assets thin. Their costs rise. Their efficiency drops. The economic and operational balance shifts toward the side that can field many low-cost platforms simultaneously. That is cost-effectiveness as strategy. Now, the limitations and the upgrade path. Let's be honest, these rockets are unguided. That means large dispersion against point targets. Against something like a radar tower, effectiveness is limited compared to guided missiles. This is not a flaw, it is a design choice, trading precision for affordability and coverage. However, global trends point to a very realistic upgrade path. Many countries are converting standard 70mm rockets into guided munitions using low-cost GPS, INS, or optical seekers. Several international programs already exist. If Vietnam chooses this direction, the so-called mini MLRS could evolve into a precision-capable system. At its current stage, it is a powerful area support weapon. With guidance upgrades, it could become something far more significant. Whether Vietnam keeps it low cost or pushes for accuracy will determine whether this remains a local utility or becomes a strategic wildcard. Minh Quan Story believes this development is more than a technical experiment. It is a strategic statement. Historically, Vietnam's rocket artillery relied on legacy systems like BM-14, BM-21, and China's Type 63, all imported decades ago. But warfare has changed. Mobility, affordability, and rapid deployment now matter more than sheer weight. Military observers at the 2024 Expo suggest this system could directly support mechanized infantry, provide close fire support, or counter sudden UAV or armored thrusts. It may also serve as a testbed for a lightweight mobile rocket family, similar to Turkey's T-107 or TG-70. Mounted on 4x4 tactical vehicles, this firepower can move through jungles, mountains, coastlines, even muddy terrain where heavy artillery simply cannot operate. In other words, this weapon is built for Vietnam's battlefield. Complex terrain demands extreme mobility. You do not need hundreds of tons of ammunition. A small mechanized unit with several domestic launchers can achieve localized dominance. If refined and mass-produced, this system could become a key component in a new operational model, integrating rocket artillery, reconnaissance drones, and automated fire control. Quiet, deliberate, and strategically calculated. And here is the part many overlook. Not everything dangerous needs to be loud or flashy. Sometimes, what keeps an opponent awake at night is a small idea, multiplied many times. That 70mm launcher at Vietnam Defense Expo 2024 did not shout for attention. It stood there quietly, mounted on a light vehicle, like a silent honeycomb. Its purpose was not to impress, but to demonstrate scalability, mobility, and saturation. The strike here is not about hitting one target perfectly. It is about disrupting landing plans, anchorage zones, and staging areas, forcing the attacker to reassess risk, deploy more reconnaissance, divide forces, and play by the defender's rules. And remember a global trend. Standard rockets are increasingly being upgraded into guided weapons using inexpensive kits. That path is fully viable for 70mm systems. If Vietnam pursues it, this quiet honeycomb could become surprisingly precise. The message is clear. Small, cheap, and numerous can be a strategy, not a limitation. When the strategy is right, even a so-called second-tier system can dictate the tempo of battle. One question often raised is whether this domestic launcher could fire thermobaric warheads. Technically, it is possible. Vietnam has previously disclosed research into small-caliber thermobaric munitions for infantry weapons. Globally, 70mm rockets have been adapted to various specialized warheads. But this involves complex safety, storage, and policy considerations. Thermobaric capability is theoretically feasible, but carries serious operational and humanitarian implications. In the end, what makes a nation strong is not the size of its weapons, but how intelligently it turns small capabilities into strategic advantages. Vietnam's domestic 70mm rocket launcher is not loud, not glamorous, but it signals something important. Vietnam is beginning to think and act like a truly self-reliant defense technology nation. When you can build your own weapons, even small ones, you gain independence, choice, and strategic freedom. And sometimes that freedom is worth more than the most expensive missile. Because in an age where everything can be bought, the real prestige lies in what you can quietly build yourself. And as always, this is Minh Quan Story International, analyzing global defense and geopolitics through a different lens.